Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Caiden Cowger program, broadcasting from West Virginia. It is great to have you with us. So, on the bright side, the Democrats and liberals aren't talking about Russia anymore. Now they're talking about how Donald Trump is the reincarnation of Adolf Hitler. Yeah, they think that Donald Trump is Adolf Hitler. And every media outlet, with the exception of half of Fox News, is saying it. So, I mean, guys, I tell you, it's so absolutely insane what we're seeing take place here. How is Trump equivalent to Adolf Hitler? Because he didn't condemn the white supremacists that were in Charlottesville, Virginia. Oh, really? He didn't condemn them. Because, guys, I'm going to just show you what the news media is reporting. It's absolutely pathetic. You have CNN that released an article on August the 13th, 2017. On August the 13th, 2017, CNN released an article, Trump once again fails to condemn white supremacists. That was written by Dan Merca, CNN. The day prior to that, on August the 12th, 2017, Donald Trump wrote on Twitter, "We all must be united and condemn all that hate stands for. We all must be united and condemn all that hate stands for." What is that? Condemn. Keyword, condemn. All that hate stands for. There is no place for this kind of violence in America. Let's come together as one. Is that not a remark condemning the hatred that took place? No, it's not enough because it's not specific. I hate to tell you guys, but you know what happened in Charlottesville? You had extremists from both political sides that were in that area and were going absolutely ballistic, okay? So yeah, I'm not a Nazi supporter, all right? I can't stand Nazism. I can't stand racism. You know why I can't stand Nazism? Because I couldn't stand Bernie Sanders because he had the same exact type of ideology, which is socialism. Nazis were socialists. So yes, Bernie Sanders has more in common with the Nazis and with Adolf Hitler, Sieg Heil, than Donald Trump. Do we understand that? Do you liberals and Democrats understand? Democrats, you have more in common with the Nazis than Donald Trump and than Republicans. Why? Because you tend to support socialist type of ideologies. You have a socialist ideology, and that is exactly the same type of ideology that Adolf Hitler had back in Nazi Germany. They fought for socialism. Do your homework. Read a textbook if you learned how to read. But the problem that we have is that they just try to portray him any way negatively that they possibly can. Nothing that the man says is good enough for him. I got news for you. Antifa is a organization that is full of bigotry. They force you to accept the principles of liberalism. They are violent. Black Lives Matter is violent. Take a good look at what they did to Baltimore. Take a good look at what they did to Ferguson, Missouri. They completely destroyed businesses, many of which were owned by black business owners. It's absolutely pathetic. And they all did so in the name of Black Lives Matter. If Black Lives Matter, what about the black businessmen that you torch their buildings and burn them to the ground? Huh? What about that? Do their businesses not matter? Do well-to-do black businessmen not matter? Black lives matter? Only scum of the earth lives matter, right? Yeah. That's basically what you're saying, because the type of people that you've made the poster child of your little, movement, they're not people like Martin Luther King. They're not good people. They are people that are heavily involved in drugs, and that is the last thing that I would want to be a representation of the black community, especially when you're supposed to be creating some type of civil rights movement. Last person that I would get, the last thing that I would exalt is an individual, is a person that is involved in drugs. No way I'd ever do that. No way that I would ever get some street thug and exalt him as being the champion of my movement. Why is that? It's because they don't represent the black community. People like Martin Luther King should be representatives of the black community, but one thing that I've been noticing here recently is that many people are rejecting the type of beliefs that Martin Luther King had pertaining to peace, pertaining to a colorblind society. I heard some type of so-called black civil rights activist on the news the other day that was saying that Martin Luther King's vision for a colorblind America is just never going to happen, so therefore we shouldn't accept it. We're always gonna see color, regardless of if we're black or white. Yeah, because you're a racist scumbag. You shouldn't be judging people by their color, by the color of their skin. That's absurd. That's ridiculous. It's just the external coating that, protects your body from various types of diseases and bacteria that can work its way in. Waterproof shield. I can go on and on. Keeps everything in. Keeps the blood in. It's dumb. It's just a part of the human body. But guys, I'm telling you, it's just so absolutely absurd and ridiculous what we are seeing in the media today, because now they're saying that he is equivalent to that of Adolf Hitler. And the guy has a son-in-law that's a Jew. So how is that? I guess he doesn't like his son-in-law. That's why he gave him a position in his administration, right? Because Donald Trump hates Jews. Right, yeah. Sorry, forgot about that. Apparently Ivanka does too, because she married one. So, I'm surprised that Donald Trump didn't disinherit Ivanka if he's such a big Jew hater. Does anyone believe this garbage? Yes, sadly they do. And they're all liberals, which automatically shows that they have low IQ just by the fact that they identify as liberals. I'm getting ticked off by all this. It's absolutely absurd. I have like 17, 20 articles lined up here to talk about today. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get through them all. But I have like 20 articles lined up here today to talk to you guys about, and every single one is calling Trump a racist, calling Trump a white supremacist, calling Trump Adolf Hitler, calling Trump a Nazi. And by the way, I want to tell you all one of the first places, or one of the first, states that began identifying Trump as being equivalent to Adolf Hitler, and you're going to find the answer quite intriguing. But it's so absolutely sickening what we're seeing take place here pertaining to the president. He clearly condemned racists and all types of hateful individuals on August the 12th, 2017 in a statement and a tweet he made on Twitter. And then CNN releases an article the following day. Trump once again fails to condemn white supremacists. How is that? Trump said that all those extremists that were in Charlottesville, which they were all extremists in Charlottesville, I hope you realize that, all of them should be condemned. Why is that? Because they are promoting hatred. One side's promoting hatred of the right, the other side's promoting hatred of the left. Except they're going beyond hate. They're going beyond hatred to where they are all representing fascism. Excuse me, can't talk. I can't say it. Fascism. There you go. Got it out. Jeez, it's going to be a long show day, isn't it? But I tell you, it's just so absolutely sickening. And all that Antifa is that they're just taking, they're basically taking their type of agenda from Rules for Radicals, where they are accusing others of what they are. They are fascists, and they are apparently supposed to be combating fascism. It's crazy. It's insane. But that's the way that these people operate. What do you mean that they're fascists? I'll tell you how. It's because you can't just disagree with liberalism. You have to love liberalism. If you don't love liberalism, then you basically deserve your entire livelihood destroyed, and you basically deserve to be exterminated. That's basically what we're hearing from the radical members of the extremist left. What do I mean by that? Because, we can go on example after example. You have to support abortion, because if you don't, you hate women. You despise women. If you are in opposition to same-sex marriage, that's horrible. You've got to support same-sex marriage, and you also can't just oppose. You can't just not stand in the way. You can't See, not saying that you're against it is not enough. You have to like it. You have to like same-sex marriage. You have to like homosexuality. I don't care. Even if you personally disagree, you have to like it. Even if you support same-sex marriage, you have to like it. If you don't like it and you don't want it to be showy, then you're a bigot and you're homophobic and you deserve to have your entire livelihood destroyed. Which, the thing that really gets me, they say that you hate gay people if you oppose same-sex marriage, but if you oppose abortion, then they say that you hate women. If you hate women, wouldn't that mean that you are gay? Or if you hate gay people, wouldn't that mean that you like women? So I just don't understand the type of logic that liberals use, other than it's not logic, it's just completely irrational thinking. It's incoherence. Incoherency. That's all that it is. It doesn't make sense. Everything contradicts each other. There is no respectful disagreement among members of the left. And because they are incapable of respectfully disagreeing with somebody like me, they think that I'm the same way, where I can't respectfully disagree with them without hating them, because they have this type of narcissistic worldview where everybody is just like them except on the opposite side of the fence. So it's really just insane. And their entire ideology is just based on incoherency. They are incoherent. That is exactly the best word to describe liberalism. And, guys, I got to tell you, I'm going to have to get to some of the articles that we're seeing come up here, but I'm just going to tell you this. Rush Limbaugh said the same exact thing on his radio show. I've heard other radio hosts that have said the same thing also. It's about time to turn off the mainstream media. As a matter of fact, it is time. I don't even, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even watch CNN, Fox News, MSLSD. I wouldn't turn on any news channel, period. You know why? Because all of them are just propagandists. That's all that they are. They are all propagandists working for the Democratic left. They are the propaganda wing of the Democratic Party. And, it's sad that we no longer live in a news-based, fact-based area, but it's a truth. The media has become completely biased, and the only way that you're going to get, no bias, or I'll put it this way, the only way that you're not going to, they're going to be able to shuffle through all this is by turning to alternative media outlets. Alternative media outlets like this, like the Rush Limbaugh show, like various other news networks that are out there. I think One America is all right. But I'm telling you, there are many, many biased stories that are being distributed by the liberal left, and CNN is a major contributor to that. Every single article that I've read on CNN so far has just been bashing Trump, bashing Trump, bashing Trump, bashing Trump. And they have a vendetta against him. My goodness. You have where they accused him of not condemning the white supremacists. There's another article here that was just published today that says Trump should come to Europe and see what the Nazis did, making it out like he has no idea what the Nazis did, making it out like he's supporting Nazism. Trump condemned the Nazis along with Antifa. Trump condemned the Nazis along with Antifa. And by the way, liberals, I thought that you were all for no condemnation. We shouldn't be condemning anybody. Nobody should be condemned. Nobody should be judged. I'm just saying, I have no problem with saying that Nazis are scum. But, if you guys are going to be, we can't judge anybody, then why are you judging them? You should be happy that Trump didn't condemn anybody if that's what you think that he didn't do. Although he very clearly did. All you have to do is just open up his Twitter account, which you guys live on. You know that he condemned them. I don't know what you're talking about. You guys have this weird obsession with him where every single thing that the man tweets, you guys report on, except if it's something that actually portrays him in a positive light and everybody liked it and he actually did something. Then he just turn around and say that he didn't do it and act like his Twitter account doesn't even exist. But every single other tweet that the guy puts out, you guys take as an official statement from the White House. So why, when he said we should condemn hate, you guys ignored that? It doesn't make any sense, other than they are deliberately biased and they are deliberately misinforming their audiences.
Fighting liberalism one lie at a time.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Are you looking for tickets to the hottest concerts, big game, or theater show? Look no further than StarFanTickets.com. We have amazing tickets to almost everything. No event is ever sold out. Why wait? It's easy to get the tickets you want at the prices you'll love. Simply search for the event. Then click the Find Tickets button. That's StarFanTickets.com. Join the StarFan crew mailing list and stay up to date on all the hottest events in your area. That's StarFanTickets.com. We have your tickets. Hashtag, you going?
It safely eliminates stress and anxiety. It makes commuting, driving your kids around, or driving a truck more fun. It makes gift shopping easier. It's Happy Driving Stress Reduction, a revolutionary patent-pending tool that works while you drive. Find Happy Driving Stress Reduction on iTunes, Amazon, or Google Play. Make life easier. Buy Happy Driving Stress Reduction today.
Go get your copy of Prelude to World War III, The Rise of Islamic Republic and the Rebirth of America. World War III Series Volume 1, available in paperback and Kindle edition on Amazon by the authors James Rozone and Miranda Watson. By the 2020s, America was no longer a world superpower. The military had been cut to a bare-bones level, and while the U.S. was focused internally, the door opened for new powers to emerge on the world stage. In the wake of this power vacuum, China.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-441-7922. That's 1-800-441-7922.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108.
Like what you hear? We need your support. Consider becoming a patron of the Caiden Cowger program. As a member, you'll gain access to exclusive content only available to patrons of the show. Your subscription will help fund equipment, projects, promotion, and overall production of the broadcast. To join, go to www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. That's www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. Again, www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. And thanks.
Have a brand, organization, or business? Consider becoming a sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Reaching over 6 states, the Caiden Cowger program offers wide coverage. I'm sure you've heard that radio is dead, but research shows that 93% of Americans listen to the radio, including 92% of millennials. That's greater than television, internet, and smartphone usage. Radio isn't dead. After all, aren't you hearing this? 84% of drivers cite radio as their primary in-car entertainment device. This means your sponsorship spot is reaching consumers closest to their point of purchase. In addition, talk is the second most listened to radio format. Sponsoring the Caiden Cowger program is actually quite simple. We tell our listeners who you are, what your business does, and how to get in touch with you. It helps you and keeps our program on the air. For more information, go to www.CaidenCowgerProgram.com/sponsor.
This is President Donald J. Trump, and I would like to tell you, all of my loyal supporters, and you're all very loyal, to listen to the Caiden Cowger program on your local station. Caiden Cowger is a great guy, does an amazing job, loves Trump, and is making radio great again. His show is huge. Also, his Twitter account, @Caiden Cowger, is very bigly. So bigly, it's almost as good as Trump's. So go ahead and give him a follow. Let's make his Twitter followers number greater than Rosie O'Donnell's poor bathroom scale. Now that would be an accomplishment. You can also give him a follow on Instagram via @Caiden Cowger. Thank you, and let's make radio and America great again.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program, where we are trying to stay alive. Absolutely insane. The media is absolutely insane. So, here's the article from Reuters. It says, Trump blames both sides for Virginia violence as many Republicans balk. So, notice that it says, and this is actually a decent headline, one of the more decent headlines that I've seen, and it apparently had to get, in order for it to be decent, it had to be written by two people. It says Amanda Becker and Jeff Mason were the ones that drafted this. So that's a decent headline. Let's read the story, see what it says here. It says, U.S. President Donald Trump inflamed tension after a deadly rally by white nationalists in Virginia by insisting that counter-protesters were also to blame, drawing condemnation from some Republican leaders and praise from white supremacists. In a combative news conference, Trump backed off from his Monday statements explicitly denouncing the Ku Klux Klan, neo-Nazis, and white supremacists for the violence that erupted at a Unite the Right rally. Now, here's the thing. It says, in a combative news conference, Trump backed off his Monday statements. How did he back off of his Monday statements if he denounced everybody that was involved? He denounced Antifa. He denounced the Nazis. He denounced the white supremacists. He had David Duke mad at him. David Duke even started slamming him on Twitter. Say it was white people that supported you, and now you're turning your back on white people. So he has a white supremacist mad at him because he's condemning him, and he has the media that's saying that he's not condemning him. What is going on? These people are insane. You have nuts that are so-called right-wing, alt-right, whatever you want to call them. You have nut jobs that hate Trump now because he just spoke out against white supremacy, and he just spoke out against Nazism, which is socialism, which is Bernie Sanders, so I don't know what is going on. And then you have the media that's saying that he's not condemning the people that are mad at him because he condemned them. So I don't know what's happening. These people are insane. There's so many loonies out there in the media and that are political activists. They're all nuts. It is absolutely crazy. You members of the media are absolute wackos. The man condemns a type of flawed ideology, a type of barbaric, a type of insane idea of Nazism, which includes socialism, which is insane too. And see, here's the thing that's important for me to point out too. Okay? Because it goes way beyond that. Now listen to this. All right, let's go back to the Reuters article. It says that this is a Reuters story. All right, it says U.S. President Donald Trump inflamed tension after a deadly rally by white nationalists in Virginia by insisting that counter-protesters were also to blame, drawing condemnation from some Republican leaders and praise from white supremacists. So they are professing here in the Reuters article that Trump received praise from white supremacists. Why would he be receiving praise when he condemned everybody that was involved? The extremists on the left and the extremists on the right. And not only that, I want to know what white supremacists, and here's another thing. I want to know what white supremacists were praising Trump because David Duke was slamming him on Twitter. David Duke said, after Trump said we must all be united and condemn all that hate stands for, David Duke responded back after Trump said that we should come together, quote, come together as one. David Duke said, so after decades of white Americans being targeted for discriminated and anti-white hatred, we come together as a people and you attack us? I would recommend that you take a look in the mirror and remember it was white Americans who put you in the presidency, not radical leftists. That is David Duke. So David Duke, a white supremacist, is attacking Donald Trump. Is that praise, Reuters? No. So you have the white supremacists that believe that Trump condemned them. You have Antifa that believes that Trump condemned them. What he did, he condemned both extremist organizations on the right and on the left. And what does the media say? They are mad because he criticized the extremists on the left. They're mad about that. You know what that would insinuate? That would insinuate that the media doesn't want the extremists on the left condemned because they support violence against conservatives. They support the violence against Trump supporters that Antifa has engaged in. They support the Black Lives Matter movement, setting police cars ablaze, burning down the buildings of black business owners that have worked lifelong missions to build up their companies. They're fine with that. They're perfectly fine as long as the violence is committed in the name of liberalism. I'm ticked. As long as violence is committed in the name of liberalism, the liberals in the media are perfectly A-okay with it. And if you challenge the ones that are committing the violent acts in the name of liberalism, they will come after you. Because that's exactly what they're doing to Trump. Trump condemned the violence that was taking place by people who profess to be on the right, and he was also condemning the violence of the people that were enacting it that were on the left. I tell you guys, we are dealing with a media that is so absolutely insane. We are dealing with a media that is perfectly fine with violence being committed against conservatives. That's exactly what we're seeing take place. They're fine with it. They could care less. You go after Antifa, you go after Black Lives Matter, they hate you. They despise you. Why? Because they want to force people to be liberals. Basically, what we are witnessing in America is a liberal left version of the Inquisition. You must be a liberal, or die, or have your livelihood ripped out from under you. You want to talk about fascists? You want to talk about fascism? You want to know who the real fascists are? It's the liberal left. You oppose same-sex marriage? Guess what? Yeah, you're a bigot, and you deserve to have your entire livelihood taken away. See, even if you support same-sex marriage, but you just are not comfortable with homosexuality, you can't just not be in opposition to it. You have to like it. You've got to like abortion. Because if you don't, you hate women. You hate women. If you support protection of life, you hate women. If you support same-sex marriage, but you're not comfortable with homosexuality, then you hate gays, and you deserve to have your entire livelihood, taken away. You have to like everything that liberalism is about. Simply just standing back and letting things happen, that's not acceptable. You have to like it. Even if you support same-sex marriage, you have to like it. You've got to like men having the ability to use a restroom with your 4-year-old daughter. You have to like that. And you have to allow that. And how dare you if you express any opposition to it, then you're transphobic. Because pedophiles totally wouldn't take advantage of a law like that. Yeah, that's liberal. How liberals' brains work. And maybe they want that to happen to little girls, honestly, because, then it messes, them up for the rest of their lives. Because a lot of people that are sexually abused, end up, having difficult times, staying with one person, and sometimes, it just messes them up entirely. Doesn't have the same effect on everybody, but it can happen. It's so messed up. So absolutely messed up. I mean, I don't understand how anyone can take the media seriously when what they are reporting can be so easily debunked. I don't get it. And by the way, I was being facetious just a second ago, by the way. Just wanted to put that out there in case the liberals try to twist my words. It really just, it does, it aggravates me because they can be so easily debunked. Trump clearly condemned both sides in this entire case that took place over in Charlottesville. The liberal left can say whatever they want. They can try to lie as much as they want. The media can lie as much as they want. No one takes them seriously anymore. And all that they're doing is that they're just destroying their credibility. So keep it up, media. We'll be right back after this.
Some say he's the next Rush Limbaugh.
I tell you, this kid's got 90% of Rush's venom with only 10% of the biomass.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
You always want to look your best, but you don't always have time to deal with a necktie that won't cooperate. That's where we come in. Introducing the Never Tie, the only necktie that you never have to tie. Each Never Tie comes with a tie and 2 removable knots that you simply slide on and adjust for your comfort, giving you the perfect look every time. Choose from over 20 stylish designs at thenevertie.com. Enter promo code RADIO1 for discount.
It safely eliminates stress and anxiety. It makes commuting, driving your kids around, or driving a truck more fun. It makes gift shopping easier. It's Happy Driving Stress Reduction, a revolutionary patent-pending tool that works while you drive. Find Happy Driving Stress Reduction on iTunes, Amazon, or Google Play. Make life easier. Buy Happy Driving Stress Reduction today.
Go get your copy of Prelude to World War III, The Rise of Islamic Republic and the Rebirth of America. World War III Series Volume 1, available in paperback and Kindle edition on Amazon by the authors James Rozone and Miranda Watson. By the 2020s, America was no longer a world superpower. The military had been cut to a bare-bones level, and while the U.S. was focused internally, the door opened for new powers to emerge on the world stage. In the wake of this power vacuum, China.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas.
For your free inventors information, call 1-800-441-7922. That's 1-800-441-7922.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108.
This is President Donald J. Trump, and I would like to tell you, all of my loyal supporters, and you're all very loyal, to listen to the Caiden Cowger program on your local station. Caiden Cowger is a great guy, does an amazing job, loves Trump, and is making radio great again. His show is huge. Also, his Twitter account, @Caiden Cowger, is very bigly. So bigly, it's almost as good as Trump's. So go ahead and give him a follow. Let's make his Twitter followers number greater than Rosie O'Donnell's poor bathroom scale. Now that would be an accomplishment. You can also give him a follow on Instagram via @Caiden Cowger. Thank you, and let's make radio and America great again.
Have a brand, organization, or business? Consider becoming a sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Reaching over 6 states, the Caiden Cowger program offers wide coverage. I'm sure you've heard that radio is dead, but research shows that 93% of Americans listen to the radio, including 92% of millennials. That's greater than television, internet, and smartphone usage. Radio isn't dead. After all, aren't you hearing this? 84% of drivers cite radio as their primary in-car entertainment device. This means your sponsorship spot is reaching consumers closest to their point of purchase. In addition, talk is the second most listened to radio format. Sponsoring the Caiden Cowger program is actually quite simple. We tell our listeners who you are, what your business does, and how to get in touch with you. It helps you and keeps our program on the air. For more information, go to www.caidencowgerprogram.com/sponsor.
Like what you hear? We need your support. Consider becoming a patron of the Caiden Cowger program. As a member, you'll gain access to exclusive content only available to patrons of the show. Your subscription will help fund equipment, projects, promotion, and overall production of the broadcast. To join, go to www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. That's www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. Again, www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. And thanks.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. So we're talking about all the insanity that's taking place with the media and Donald Trump. Now they're professing that he is Adolf Hitler, minus the mustache. But anyway, this is an article from The Independent. Now I want you to listen to how insane this is, okay? This is The Independent, written by Chris Baines. Anne Frank Center warns of alarming parallels between Trump's America and Hitler's Germany. The human rights group compared Donald Trump's presidency to the escalating steps of oppression that led to the Holocaust. That's right. So who's Hitler's Jew? Is it Mexicans? Is that it? Illegal immigrants? Is that it? He's just going to start killing them? I mean, I'm trying to figure out how the liberals are thinking that this is going to, work out. How is he like Hitler? Hitler was a socialist. He has more in common with Bernie Sanders than he does Adolf Hitler. He has more in common with the Democrats than he does with Donald Trump. So how exactly is how exactly does that work? Doesn't make any sense. So it says here, a human rights group inspired by Anne Frank has drawn comparisons between Donald Trump's America and Adolf Hitler's Germany. The Anne Frank Center for Mutual Respect warned of alarming parallels between the president and the Nazi leader, likening the present-day U.S. to the escalating steps of oppression that led to the Holocaust in the 1930s and 40s. A group which has been a vocal critic of the U.S. president noted that it suggested similarities between Mr. Trump and Hitler in a Twitter post. Ooh, Twitter. The list included: the president creates his own media. He exploits youth at a rally, which the Boy Scouts loved him, and he demonstrates that people who believe, look, or love. He demonizes people who believe, look, or love differently. It was headed, "Alarming parallels of history escalate." In an apparent warning about America's future under Mr. Trump, the Post concluded, "Never again to any people." The Post did not specifically mention Trump or Hitler, but the center announced, apparently was an executive director there, said that the comparison was intended for the president. So there you go. How about that? And, guys, one thing that's important to point out here, and this is something that you all might find interesting. We all have been talking about this Russian collusion between apparently Donald Trump and Russia, okay? And here's the thing. I wonder if the Democratic Party has been colluding with North Korea. You know why? Because I think that the Democrats and the liberals, with all this, Donald Trump is Adolf Hitler thing, I think that they are taking strategies from Kim Jong-un. Where am I getting that from? Because if we go to an article in the Telegraph, it says, North Korea compares Donald Trump to Hitler in attack on racist America First policies. That's from the Telegraph. This is what it says. North Korean state media has likened Donald Trump to Adolf Hitler and the U.S. president's America First policies to Nazism. Mr. Trump's two-nation strategy towards the Korean Peninsula is based on Hitler's dictatorial policies that separate people from their peers, justifies oppression, and creates an atmosphere of fear in American political, social media, and informational circles. An editorial published on Tuesday of whatever week this was published in by the Korean Central News Agency claims. So the state-run agency in North Korea likened Donald Trump to Adolf Hitler to try to portray him negatively to their people. Mr. Trump's policies on immigration are no different from the racist policies of fascism and degenerate the history of America. Since the rise of America First, the world has never had a calm day, the editorial stated. Sounds like a Democratic liberal op-ed, doesn't it? And this was published back in June of 2017 from the North Korean State News Agency. Sounds like our news agency. So yeah, I wonder if the Democrats are getting their little battle strategies to attack Donald Trump from the North Koreans. Maybe that's why they don't want us to bomb the country. They love North Korea. That is their utopia. That is their nirvana. So you see that? Mainstream media, you're no different than the North Korea state-ran agency. No different than the North Korea state-run agency. That's what you are. You do the same exact kind of reporting. You do the same exact absurdity. You back the state, which is a Democratic Party. I mean, you are equivalent to the North Korean state-run agency. That's exactly. CNN, MSNBC, NBC, CBS, you're all just a bunch of fascists that are calling other people fascists to cover up your fascism. That's exactly what you're doing. You force people to agree with liberalism. If they don't agree with it, then you demonize them and try to destroy their livelihoods. You're looking at somebody that you tried to do that to. I'm so absolutely disgusted with the way that the media is. I think that a lot of people are too. I have no problem with Trump completely demonizing the media because the media for years have been nothing but just a bully pulpit for the liberal left. They have been using the liberal media to bully conservatives for years, and it's about time that the bully gets punched in the nose. So I'm fine with it. I'm perfectly all right with it. And don't blame Trump for being the downfall of the media when you guys have been engaging in immature, unprofessional behavior. It's not Trump's fault. It's not Trump's fault that you guys are putting out stories lying. You're imploding. Trump's not destroying you. You're destroying yourselves. All that Trump's doing is highlighting your absurdity and putting it behind the presidential podium and presenting it to the American people. That's all that's taking place. So, I mean, guys, I tell you, we are really living in a time, aren't we? I want to get off this Hitler stuff for a second. We'll probably have to come back to it because that's a bunch of stuff that we have geared up here. It's just being talked about everywhere, how Trump's Hitler. But this is Bloomberg. Trump says thank you as CEOs quit him after Virginia remarks. So now we have CEOs, businessmen that are quitting Donald Trump because of his Virginia remarks. Now we're back on the racism thing. I thought we were leaving it. No, apparently not. Only a day after Donald Trump labeled the growing number of CEOs quitting his business council as grandstanders who, in some cases, were hurting ordinary Americans, the president tweeted that he would abolish the advisory groups rather than put pressure on executives to stay. Thank you all, Trump tweeted Wednesday afternoon. His announcement came within an hour of reports that one of the groups, a form of top finance and business executives, was planning to disband. It appeared to be an effort by Trump to get ahead of the business leaders who were abandoning him following his remarks the day before at a New York City press conference. So, I mean, Trump basically just said that both sides were to blame. Again, he's saying both sides are to blame. So he can't say that. He has to only target his own side. He can't say, hey, liberals are to blame too because, you know, they're kind of setting police cars on fire. They're kind of burning down buildings here. They're kind of beating up my supporters. So, yeah, they're kind of to blame too. They need to knock it off. No, you can't say that. Why? Because only conservatives can be criticized. Liberals cannot be. Then you have Willard Mitt Romney and his magical Mormon underwear, which I said on Twitter was getting a little bit too tight because it's starting to cut off circulation. He made the remark on here, and no offense to the Mormons that have loosely fitting normal underwear, magic underwear, that is. So anyway, you have Mitt Romney that was on Twitter said, no, not the same. One side is racist, bigoted, Nazi. The other side opposes racism and bigotry, morally different universes. So let me understand this, Willard Mitt Romney. You mean to tell me that Antifa is not bigoted? You mean to tell me that Black Lives Matter is not racist? I mean, my goodness. Thank God you were not ever elected president. And then we have people say, I agree with Mitt. Mitt was right. Mitt was right. Only one led to the extermination of millions. Well, Antifa hasn't been able to do that yet, but I wouldn't put it past them. Because they've already demonstrated violence against people that oppose them. They are fascists. I'm so sick of it.
Caiden Cowger. Keeping America straight. Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
It safely eliminates stress and anxiety. It makes commuting, driving your kids around, or driving a truck more fun. It makes gift shopping easier. It's Happy Driving Stress Reduction, a revolutionary patent-pending tool that works while you drive. Find Happy Driving Stress Reduction on iTunes, Amazon, or Google Play. Make life easier. Buy Happy Driving Stress Reduction today.
You always want to look your best, but you don't always have time to deal with a necktie that won't cooperate. That's where we come in. Introducing the Never Tie, the only necktie that you never have to tie. Each Never Tie comes with a tie and 2 removable knots that you simply slide on and adjust for your comfort, giving you the perfect look every time. Choose from over 20 stylish designs at thenevertie.com. Enter promo code RADIO1 for discount.
Go get your copy of Prelude to World War III, The Rise of Islamic Republic and the Rebirth of America. World War III Series Volume 1, available in paperback and Kindle edition on Amazon by the authors James Rozone and Miranda Watson. By the 2020s, America was no longer a world superpower. The military had been cut to a bare-bones level, and while the U.S. was focused internally, the door opened for new powers to emerge on the world stage. In the wake of this power vacuum, China...
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-441-7922. That's 1-800-441-7922.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108.
Have a brand, organization, or business? Consider becoming a sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Reaching over 6 states, the Caiden Cowger program offers wide coverage. I'm sure you've heard that radio is dead, but research shows that 93% of Americans listen to the radio, including 92% of millennials. That's greater than television, internet, and smartphone usage. Radio isn't dead. After all, aren't you hearing this? 84% of drivers cite radio as their primary in-car entertainment device. This means your sponsorship spot is reaching consumers closest to their point of purchase. In addition, talk is the second most listened to radio format. Sponsoring the Caiden Cowger program is actually quite simple. We tell our listeners who you are, what your business does, and how to get in touch with you. It helps you and keeps our program on the air. For more information, go to www.caidencowgerprogram.com/sponsor.
Like what you hear? We need your support. Consider becoming a patron of the Caiden Cowger program. As a member, you'll gain access to exclusive content only available to patrons of the show. Your subscription will help fund equipment, projects, promotion, and overall production of the broadcast. To join, go to www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. That's www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. Again, www.patreon.com/Caiden Cowger. And thanks.
This is President Donald J. Trump, and I would like to tell you, all of my loyal supporters, and you're all very loyal, to listen to the Caiden Cowger program on your local station. Caiden Cowger is a great guy, does an amazing job, loves Trump, and is making radio great again. His show is huge. Also, his Twitter account, @Caiden Cowger, is very bigly. So bigly, it's almost as good as Trump's. So go ahead and give him a follow. Let's make his Twitter followers number greater than Rosie O'Donnell's poor bathroom scale. Now that would be an accomplishment. You can also give him a follow on Instagram via @Caiden Cowger. Thank you, and let's make radio and America great again.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
So Van Jones is on Anderson Cooper 360, and he's saying that his Jewish grandmother is afraid of Donald Trump because she thinks that Donald Trump is going to turn into Adolf Hitler and start killing Jews. You want to talk about conspiratorial, you got it right there. I mean, they are going absolutely way off the deep end. I mean, this is CNN. This is Van Jones on here. Go ahead and listen to this. This is, and by the way, Donald Trump's son-in-law is a Jewish also, by the way. So here's a Van Jones. Go ahead, play this.
Defend people from those thugs.
Yeah, I keep wondering, Van, I mean, he's surrounded by military people. H.R. McMaster, who's had an incredible career in the U.S. Army. The U.S. Army fought the Nazis in Europe. You know, Kelly, who was a Marine. I mean, most of the Marines were in the Pacific Theater, but there were Marines fighting against the Nazis in Europe as well. I mean, what do these people who are surrounding him think? Ivanka Trump, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, for me,
Jared Kushner, what are they thinking?
I don't know, but I'll tell you what.
But he's not Hitler.
I'm thinking about my godmother, Dottie Zollner, who's Jewish. I think about what she's gone through in her life, sticking up for civil rights.
Yeah, we're crying now.
The stories that she's told me about her family and the things that her family suffered in Europe, and the fact that she can't count on the President of the United States to stand with her when a Nazi ran over an American citizen, killed an American citizen with ISIS tactics in our country. And my godmother can't come on the television to see the President of the United States.
What about the Democrat liberal that was a fan of the Rachel Maddow show that shot at a bunch of Republican congressmen and severely wounded one? Put him in critical condition. Is that not ISIS-like? You have wackos on your side too. Both darn sides should be condemned. I'm tired of liberals completely giving these radical members of the left a free pass, saying that they don't deserve to be condemned. Why? Because they are spreading violence in the name of liberalism. However, if there are absolute nut jobs that profess to be members of the right that are out there, they should solely be condemned and the liberals shouldn't. The liberals are fine as long as violence is committed against conservatives in the name of liberalism. That's why they don't want both sides to be condemned, which is exactly what Donald Trump did. He condemned both sides. Van Jones, save the tears. It's absolutely pathetic. You have no reason to be bawling your eyes out, because you guys are such hypocrites. Such hypocrites. Fine with violence against members of the right. Fine with Antifa. Fine with Black Lives Matter that set buildings ablaze in Ferguson, in Baltimore, that were owned, like I've said before, that were owned by many prominent black business owners that worked their whole lives to build up those companies, lost everything in those businesses because of an organization named Black Lives Matter that was promoting the ideals of liberalism and burning down buildings in its name. You guys are fine with that. You don't believe that those organizations should be condemned. You don't believe that organizations like Antifa that beat up Trump supporters simply because they disagree with which candidate to support. Since you guys are such hypocrites. Both sides should be condemned. That's exactly what President Trump did. And by you attacking Trump for condemning both sides, you are promoting violence against conservatives, and all of you should be held accountable and shamed of yourselves. You are dividing this nation, and you are imploding. Don't blame Trump. Don't you dare blame Trump for destroying the media when you're destroying yourselves because you're doing false reports. You're distributing that out to your audiences. And you are condoning violence against Republicans. You're responsible for the shooting that took place to the Republican congressman, and you guys tried to say, oh no, we didn't have anything to do with that. When you blamed Republicans for the shooting of Gabrielle Giffords, you guys have been promoting violence, portraying Trump with his head cut off. You've been portraying Trump as being assassinated in the Snoop Dogg video. You said that it's perfectly fine to think about blowing up the White House every day. Madonna, you guys are responsible for a lot of this violence and division that has taken place in America. Don't you dare blame Trump because it's your doing. You should be held accountable for it. You should all be ashamed of yourselves. And you're not journalists. You're just absolutely spineless, gutless propagandists for the liberal left. I'm done with you. I'm done. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you like the show today. It's really boiling up on the inside of me. I'm getting ticked. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you for listening to us. For more information on the Caiden Cowger program, go to CaidenCowgerProgram.com. For the latest news exposing left, go to CowgerNation.com. Thank you, God bless, and God save this nation.